Hello. You can kind of see the cigarette. I don't know how to look on YouTube, but yeah. So it's been like 2.5 years since I made my last video. Yeah. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what happened. What's happened to me in the last 2 years. So basically, shortly after I made my last video, which I had a lot of success with, which surprised me, I moved out. I'd been making my videos in my grandparents' basement, and I had been using my grandparents' camera, the really nice camera that had the dual microphone, which simulated 3D sound without actually having to pay for a 3D recorder, 3D microphone. And yeah, I moved out. I lived in a tiny apartment where it was a 2-bedroom apartment, and I had 2 roommates. So I didn't have a bedroom, so we made a bedroom out of sheets, and I slept on an army cot, and it was some pretty ghetto shit, I'll just say that. It may have been ghetto. I hope I'm not offending anyone with that term. But I loved being on my own. It was amazing. Like, the experience of finally being, if any of you out there, like, if you've experienced, like, moving out for the first time, then, you know, like, it's an amazing experience, no matter what, no matter how little money you have, and, like, how unideal the circumstances are. It's amazing. So I moved out. And, I was going to school. I had done a year as an art major, and then had switched it to English major. And so I was studying English at UNC in Colorado. And, I had a lot of fun. I love English. I'm not studying anymore, and I'll tell you in just a moment why not, but, yeah, it was pretty amazing. Then as the months went on, I started getting sick. And, when I say sick, I'm not talking about, like, physical sick. I'm talking about, like, sick in the head. And I stopped bathing. I was not sleeping. I was not eating. I went from 170 pounds to 135. And I'm almost 6 feet tall. So when you think about it, 135 pounds on an almost 6 foot tall woman. Yeah, I was fucking skinny. Oh my god. And, it wasn't good. I would stay up all night. Like, I remember for a period of time I was trying to write a vegan cookbook. And my roommates really liked what I was making because in the morning they'd, like, get up and they'd be like, oh, there's weird cookies on the table, let's eat them. And it was great for them. I remember taking, what do you call it, like, those magic eraser things. I don't know if you've heard about them, but, like, they're called magic erasers, and they're these cleaning product, and they're like this weird foam, and you basically clean stuff with it. Not like messy, goopy, weird stuff, but like stains in the floor or on your wall or on your, like we had stains on we had like hair dye stains, and you just kind of rub it in there, like, and like the magic eraser starts to disappear. But like as it's disappearing, it's like cleaning it, and it like cleans everything. Anyway, I took magic erasers and cut them up into tiny little pieces and sat there and decided to clean the grout on the kitchen floor. We had tile floors and like really small tiles, and so I was up for hours just like, and it was like a coloring book to me. Like I just sat there and like cleaned it. And then I started getting out of hand, and I was obsessive, and I was compulsive, and I had strange thoughts. And so I made an appointment with a psychiatrist in town. And then I told my mom what was going on, and I told her, look, I made an appointment with a psychiatrist. I think there's something wrong with me. And, she took it really well. Like, after I explained everything that had been going on, and how my brain felt, and how wrong everything seemed, she took it alright. And, she supported my decision. And so I went back to the apartment that I lived in, and, shortly after that, this one roommate, see, I was roommates with my best friend, and I was roommates with this other girl. And my best friend and I couldn't stand this other girl. And she and her boyfriend were up late one night, and they were just, like, talking, and my room was basically in the living room, and I was trying to sleep, except I couldn't sleep because I wasn't sleeping. And, they were just like chatting on, and I'm like, come on guys, this is bullshit, leave me alone. And I got so mad that I decided I was going to live out of my car. So I drove to the farthest Walmart. There are two Walmarts in our city. One that was fairly close and one that was fairly far. And I went to the far Walmart. And I just decided I was living in my car. And then a little bit after that, I felt one night I was just like freaking out in my car in the Walmart parking lot. And I decided to call my mom and tell her what was happening. I was like, I need to go home. I need to go back to your house. And, Um, I, she came pick me up, and, I started living at my mom's house. Um, I always think the embers of cigarettes are beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like a Jupiter planet or something. Jupiter planet. But, then I went to the psychiatrist. Finally, my appointment came up. And, he diagnosed me with bipolar disorder. Bipolar 1. And he started me on Seroquel. Now, I took Seroquel for a while. And I liked it because, once you take it, like for me, I was supposed to take it at night and then go to bed, but I would take it at night and I would stay up, and you feel like drugged as shit. And I like drugs. I'll just leave it at that. And then, I took it for a while, and things didn't get better, they got worse. And I started thinking strange things. I thought, I don't want to get too specific because it's kind of triggering for me. It's like really hard for me to talk about some of the things that I thought was going on. So I'll just leave it vague for you. I'm sorry. If you want to know more, maybe I can talk more about it in the future. But yeah, I wasn't doing good. And so I just decided to stop taking the pills, and things got worse. I couldn't go to work. I just laid in bed and cried all the time. I had lost touch with reality. I imagined conversations that didn't happen and would talk about them to extent. And then one night, I was left alone at my mom's house, and my grandparents live on the same street as I do. And so I had told my grandparents that after I took a nap, I'd go back up to their place, and then I went absolutely batshit crazy. I thought I was possessed. I was screaming at demons. There was like thoughts in my head that I was supposed to kill our cat, like sacrifice our cat. Well, we had 2 cats, but one of the cats in particular is my favorite. And it was really insane. And I tripped an alarm in the house. My mom had set my mom has one of those like security alarms, and basically I'd open the garage door to go yell at some demons, and tripped the alarm, and I didn't get back into the inside to where the alarm set was in time to like put in the code to turn it off. And then this woman comes up, this woman's voice comes up on the alarm set and tells me like she wants to know the code word, and I was like, I don't know the code word, but I can tell you the password. And so I told her the password but not the code word. And it apparently if you don't have the code word, then police come to your house. So in the middle of my screaming fits, the police come knocking on the door. And so I open up the door, and then I'm screaming at the cops and like yelling at them and all this shit, and they were like, I remember I opened the door and I was like, what are you doing here? And the cop like took a step back and he's like, what? And I don't know, it was just crazy. I remember yelling at them, and then when they finally calmed me down enough and I was trying to explain what was going on, like, they searched my purse to make sure there were no drugs, and I didn't have drugs on me at that point. I didn't have anything on me at that point. I hadn't even smoked pot in, like, a few weeks before. Like, I probably would have pissed clean. I don't know, they searched my purse for drugs. They asked me some questions that I don't remember, and I remember I said something and we all laughed at it, and we were like just trying to have a conversation, and they got me calmed down and stuff. And I remember I was like, can I come with you guys? Sorry, I'm gonna light up another cigarette. It's my lucky, it's my last one. And I asked if I could come with them, and they're like, no, but you can go with a paramedic. And they called the paramedics, and they came to the house, and I was crying and freaking out, and the woman was like asking me about like what had just happened, and was trying to get like a temperature on my mental thermostat, and just see where I was at. And I remember she said that I had schizophrenia, and my dad has schizophrenia and is completely like disabled from it. And when she said that, I like freaked out, and I was like freaking out in this ambulance all the way to the hospital. And hang on, let me light my cigarette. I was in the hospital, and then from the hospital they sent me to this mental hospital in Highlands, and I was there for 2 weeks. And yeah, now I can officially say that I've been in a mental hospital. They didn't change my diagnosis. It was still bipolar 1. They hopped me up on a bunch of drugs. And then I went back home with a bag full of drugs. And I've been taking them ever since. I have gotten better over the last year and a half since that happened. But I never felt like I got all the way back to normal. Like I've always had issues, but like I always felt off. And I gained a lot of weight because I was on a drug called Zyprexa. Like I've been on a lot of different pills in the past year and a half. But I take a lot of pills now, but one of them is Zyprexa, and I gained over 100 pounds on Zyprexa, and that's another reason why I haven't made a video, is because I'm not happy with my body. I don't like the way I look, and so I've tried to make videos, but I don't like the way I look in them. But I'm trying to get over that. I do have tendencies towards an eating disorder, and it's to be expected. If you take Zyprexa, then you will gain weight. But now my psychiatrist is taking me off Zyprexa and is putting me on a pill called Geodone. And I've been on Geodone for like 2 months now, and they've lowered my pill a couple different times. They've lowered the Zyprexa a couple different times, and people have told me that it already looks like I've lost weight. I just recently weighed myself, and because I didn't weigh myself before I started taking the Geodone, I don't know how much weight I've lost, but now I have a starting point, so in the future I can look back and figure out how much weight I'm losing. My friend, who also has an eating disorder, thinks that's bad. She doesn't think I should be weighing myself. Yeah, I don't know what to think. And yeah, that brings us to the present. I can't live on my own anymore. At least so far I haven't been able to. I don't work enough to live on my own. I still work at the thrift store. I don't know if I mentioned that in one of my earlier videos, but I've been working at a thrift store for 3.5 years. Yep. That's where I'm at. The Geodone, though, has really helped me. Like, I feel so much better. And I kind of had a bad day today, but it's alright. Sometimes you just have bad health days, mental health days. I can't remember if it's my therapist or my psychiatrist, because I would talk about how I would just have, like, bad days, or, like, I would have audibles, or, like, hear stuff, or see stuff, or whatever, and then it would just, like, be that, like, and then it wouldn't happen again. And, either my psychiatrist or my therapist, I can't remember which one, they called it a blip in the Matrix, and I love that, because The Matrix is one of my favorite movies. So I might just be experiencing a blip in the Matrix, so never need to get worried about it. But I slept all day. I didn't have any time to go out with friends. My friends are all gone. My boyfriend is hanging out with his sister today. So it might be just because I didn't get to go out and do stuff, but yeah. I don't know. I know in the past when I made videos I tried to be encouraging and stuff, and that this isn't very encouraging. It's just me telling you guys how it is, and I'm kind of in a mood, and I don't really, well, I mean, I did get better, that's the point. And if you are experiencing something really hard in your life, like, I was trying to explain to my cousin, like, because I hit rock bottom, I feel like I can empathize more with people for various things, like just talking to people about, like, drug abuse or mental health issues or whatever. Like, I have more empathy for them than I probably would have otherwise. And whatever you're going through in your life will eventually do the same for you. Like, even if you're still going through it and it's really tough, like, just, it's like communal suffering. Like, like, if someone is hurting and we're all part of this universal conscience, then a gift would be to be able to suffer with them too, like, to know what they're experiencing and to be able to, like, basically just empathize with them, because when you're going through a really hard time, all you really want is someone to say, like, look, it's okay. I may not understand